Hey there guys, my name is JesterLogic and today we're going to have a quick look at Nuclear Dawn. Alright guys, just so you know, this is one of my first matches, so don't expect any crazy high level gameplay. The game's on its free weekend, so I just figured I'd install it and see what I thought. Now Nuclear Dawn had an unbelievably unlucky launch period. The game was officially launched on the 26th of September, which by itself isn't anything bad. However, both Modern Warfare 3 and Battlefield 3 launched less than a month later, which is a shame because in the 5 or so matches I've played, the game's an absolute blast. And for those coming in blind to the game, like I was for the most part, it's a hybrid of RTS and FPS, where you have two teams, both with a single commander. The ground forces grab objectives like resource points and so on, and the commanders then build turrets, resupply stations and all that sort of stuff, with the final objective of taking over the enemy's base and winning the round. The only big drawback to this formula is that due to the nature of the game, you tend to have teams turtling in near their base at the end of the match, and it tends to draw rounds out a lot more than is necessary. But this doesn't really detract from the game from what I've seen. Now to get the obvious comparison of Battlefield out of the way, Nuclear Dawn feels to me as if it stands on its own feet really, even if it takes some very obvious influences. The game also runs on the Source engine, so it's reasonably well optimised and doesn't look too bad. And while I'm not that familiar with the story, it's set in a kind of a post-nuclear sort of world, so you're fighting in city streets that have been hit by bombs and there's bullet holes everywhere and all that sort of stuff. It looks really cool. And I've got to say, from my experience in my first few matches, the community seems really cool. They were all giving hands to the newer people that are on the free weekend, and while there's a few elitist idiots around, they're few and far between. I think this obviously comes from the fact that the community that had already bought the game want more people to play with. The game was on its last legs really community size wise as far as I'm aware, but this free weekend seems to have really kind of bolstered the player base a little bit. Now the matches themselves flow really well, assuming you've got a decent balance of classes anyway. I mean, I was stuck at the end of a match for nearly 10 minutes where we pushed the enemy right back to their base, but nobody wanted to switch classes to like the heavy with the siege pack so we could actually destroy their bunker. This however comes with the territory objective based games, where people obviously just want to get kills instead of actually playing to the objective. I haven't actually tried the commander mode yet because, well, to be honest, the only real hostility I've seen in the community so far is towards the bad commanders. There's always votes going on to mutiny against the commander or people yelling at them for putting down the wrong things in the wrong places, but whatever, I'm sure I'll get around to it eventually. But yeah, the game's currently on its free weekend until 1 PM EST on Sunday the 19th, so give it a try, and if you do happen to like it, the game's also on offer. It's £8.99 down from £14.99. Not sure what that translates to in dollars, probably around $15 from $30. Feel free to add me on Steam if you do want a game over the next few days, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
I need medical assistance.